Hi everyone, Triple Aqua here from the West, Key West that is. I'm Mermaid Christy Ann, and thank you for joining me today. So today I'd like to talk to everyone about manifesting and how you can manifest things into your reality. And I want to tell you how I know that because I've been doing it pretty much my entire life. You can start off with small things like just wanting a cup of coffee, or maybe even thinking about someone and you'll run into them that day. But manifesting is something that we are all capable of, but there are practices to perfecting manifestations. And one of the biggest factors in being able to manifest is that you have faith, and that you have faith that it's going to happen. And doesn't matter what anyone tells you, you know that this is going to happen somewhere down the line in your future. So when I first opened up the Captain's Mermaid in 2013, it was only 50 square feet. It was really tiny, and I was very happy there. That was after I left my corporate job. And I would look across the street and there was this one store, and it had this perfect window, and it was perfect size. And I used to visualize myself in that store, and I would visualize how I would decorate the window. And I asked a realtor, and I was like, I really want that. Oh, you'll never get that because, so-and-so has it, the winery, it's their old stock room, and they're never gonna leave. Well, sure enough, I ended up there for 5 years, and I was able to manifest because I pictured myself there. I would dream it, and so you can dream it into reality. And people don't, it's kind of like that, be careful what you wish for. It's like that. Your thoughts build your reality, and it doesn't always happen overnight. But if you want it, and you've been doing the work, and you've been making Source happy, he'll put that in your path. She'll put that in your path, or whomever you believe in, as long as it's coming from a divine and good place. But know that these things can happen. So also it happens on the opposite spectrum, where you can also manifest things that are not so good in your reality. And one of the things that is very powerful in manifesting is saying things, because you could say to yourself, oh, I'm not good at that, I'm not good at that, I'm not good at that. Well, chances are you won't be good at it, because you're constantly training your cells, training your mind that you're not good at it. It's like when you're sick. Oh, I'm sick. Well, you're going to continue to be sick until you get into a different frame of mind. Now, naturally, there are forces beyond our control when people do get sick, and as much as they pray and so on and so forth, it doesn't change their outcome. But there is a very large percentage that it's usually mind over matter. Now, at the end of the day, God has control over everything, and he is the master chess player. He's in charge of everything. So it doesn't always go according to us and what we want. But I would say the majority of the time it does, because you co-create your own reality, whether it be good, bad, mediocre, whatever you want. Pretty much the sky's the limit. And you do it all the time. You can say, oh, I really want a cup of coffee or something. You leave the house and you just don't have time. And then that coworker would walk in and say, hey, I got you an extra coffee. And you're like, oh my gosh, how nice. How did you know? I really wanted one. Well, it's because you put that thought out there to the universe, and you wanted that specific wish at the time, and it was granted, basically, because that's really what manifestations are. Their wishes, their prayers, their desires. They are your innermost wants and desires, basically. It's kind of like wishing upon a star. And if you've ever heard of the term, don't dress for the job you have, but dress for the job that you want. Well, if you go into a work environment and you have that, attitude and that overall energy, that you're gonna end up with that job. I mean, that happened to me. I went into a job and there were people that had way more experience than me, but because I wanted that job and I was aggressive about it and I thought about it and I played the part, I dressed the part, I ended up getting the job. So don't ever think that something that you're being called to want to do, or a dream or a goal, if it's being put inside of you, like I've talked about before in previous videos, it's because you're supposed to entertain it somehow, but you also have to do the work. You also have to put that one foot in front of the other to get that momentum going. You know, it's just not going to land in our lap. I mean, you have probably a better chance of winning the lottery. And no, you cannot manifest the lottery tickets, because if you figure that one out, then I want to know. Although I heard of a woman that would buy tickets and put them under her bed and sleep and pray on it, and she ended up winning the lottery. So who knows, maybe she manifested that, right? So know that you can manifest your dreams. You can manifest the job that you want. You can manifest the type of energy that you want to come in for a relationship. Now, again, I've talked about in the past, you don't wish for the one particular person, because that's not healthy. But if you pray for a certain type of person that will fit you for a relationship, whether it be a friend, intimate, or business partner, God will bring that energy into you, into your life, because you are asking for it. And you also have faith, and so believe that it's going to happen. Picture yourself in that house or that dream house. Picture yourself in that car that you want. And you've heard stories like this so much, but we underestimate the power that we have to be able to create our own reality, to basically be the author of our own novels. So don't put that aside or take it lightly. You can manifest things. So I'm going to leave you with this last story, and it sounds really crazy, but when I really knew that I was a powerful manifester, and my mom always says that I scare her, because like I'll say things or do things and I end up always getting what I want. And one of her nicknames for me is Baruch from like Willy Wonka, although I don't like cause a fit, but like I'll want something and I always get it, right? So one of the craziest things, and when I really realized that, wow, like how powerful this is, I grew up here on the island, and my grandmother had a house on Northside Drive, and as a kid, my sister and my cousin Amanda and I used to catch butterflies. She had this beautiful aster hedge, and it was with the red ones, and the butterflies were everywhere, but they were mainly monarchs. Well, I've owned a property in Big Copper for 19 years, and there were never any monarchs there. There was always these yellow citrus butterflies, or these white ones, and they were everywhere, all over. And I would never see a monarch. Like maybe every 4 to 5 years I'd see one. And now granted, I've been on that property for 19 years. And so it was about 2 years ago or so, I said, that's it, God. I want monarchs on this property. What is up with it? Like, there's no monarchs on this property at all. And I kept just dreaming and visualizing these monarchs everywhere. Well, I don't even know when it happened, if it was like a year for me doing this, but monarchs started to appear on the property, and it was the craziest things. Then I would go in town and to work, because that was on Mama Worker 10, and to work, and they would be everywhere. And I was outside one day, and this woman who worked at another place nearby, she said, gosh, it's so crazy. There's all these monarchs all over the island. I've never seen them before like this. And I just had to smile, because I thought, you're right. They really haven't been around. I mean, when I was a kid, they were everywhere. And it was really interesting, because I then was talking to my uncle like about 6 months later, and the monarchs were still around all over the place, all over the property up there. And I started telling him how I manifested these monarchs, and I know he thought I was a little crazy, right? So we're talking, and he's in his truck, and all of a sudden these 2 monarchs just swarm over my head, just start dancing around. And I was like, you see, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And of course he laughs. He's like, whoa, wow, Titi, because they call me Titi, that's crazy. I'm like, I know. But it was one of those like moments where magic does exist. You can create things out of faith. You know, you just have to believe. And I know that sounds like a really bizarre story, but it is a true story. So what do you want to manifest in your life? How do you want your life to look? How do you want your relationships to look? How do you want your job to be, your dream house, you know, your side hustle, whatever it is, even just, it could be anything. You know, you want to be on stage at the Red Barn Theater, you want to start acting, manifest it. Start visualizing yourself there. You know, I've always had, like in the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, I have a cork board and it says dreams fulfilled on it. And I put little pictures of things that I want to do. And, you know, my mom recently did a vision door on one of her doors. So there's different ways that you can do it. And I've heard of them being as vision boards. And the stuff that she's been putting on there has been she's been manifesting, it's been coming into fruition. So visualize yourself there, plant yourself there, already know that you've won, that you've already got it, because what's meant for you, nobody can take it away. And if it's, yeah, just work at it. Work at your manifestations, your manifestation gifts, I should say. That actually sounded a lot better. But all right, so to leave you, I'd like to leave you with a card from the Spiritual Tarot. Since I believe this is very spiritual, look, that's the Temperance card, which is a Sagittarius card. She is making some magic there, which is pretty cool. She's an alchemist. So maybe this is what it's all about, alchemy. So we'll get a card for today's, I guess, thought for the day. What are you trying to manifest? What do you want to manifest? As long as it's coming from a good place now. Can't manifest for, you know, ugly things to happen, because then that's not good. Although it might, but let's not do that. Because then we have to deal with the karma, and we want dharma. All right, so let's get one card. It'd be really nice if one flies out and not onto the floor. So I hope you all are enjoying this channel. Please like, at least. Share if you want, subscribe. I wasn't gonna go on today, but I've been thinking about this topic since 2 days ago, and yesterday I recorded a different one. And I wasn't gonna go on today, and Spirit said, get up, do it. Oh, there it goes. Oh, cool. We've got the King of Cups. Isn't that cool? And the King of Cups is about emotions. So what are your emotions telling you? What are your emotions telling you? And what do you want to manifest? Like, you know, I was always a little melancholy. There wasn't any monarchs on my property, you know, like I couldn't have that. So yeah, it was an emotional thing for me. I was used to having them around as a kid. It was sentimental, and that's what cups are, you know, sentiments, emotions. So what are you sentimental about? Where would you want to be, or what would you want to manifest that's going to make you happy and fill your cup and make you happy and make you feel like the king or the queen that you are? So yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. And don't forget to keep swimming towards your dreams. Bye.